Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. I was just taking a little time disinfecting here. I have my Lysol dual action wipes, preventing the coronavirus. Frankie, I know we have our great friend Fog City Midge on Skype, but I did want to point out that this morning when I went to get my morning coffee, I ran into a viewer, Linda Johnson, and she said, "Hey, aren't you the tobacco show guy?" I said, "Yeah, that's me." She said, "Oh boy, I love that show. I can't believe you come in my bagel store." So Linda, thank you. And she said she told the whole family about it. So every day we're picking up new viewers all the time.
Well, and a lot of viewers are watching in bars all around the country, and they're wondering what is on my tie. This happens to be a recreation of the Declaration of Independence. I was hoping in part to trigger our British makeup artist, because there's nothing I enjoy doing more than rebelling against British tyranny. And I am hoping that they will do what we did a couple of 100 years ago and do away with the monarchy sooner rather than later, and join us and the rest of the 21st century Western countries in becoming a republic.
Right. And that's just one of many ways you could trigger our makeup artist. That's for sure.
I'm not commenting on that.
You know what? Somebody who's out there on the left coast where she's in enemy territory is pulling the trigger every day on bringing real news to real people, getting out there and talking about and exposing the progressive left. It's Fog City Midge. She's been in studio. She's been my one-time co-host when Frankie was absent, and she's always bringing the noise on social media. She's one of the best out there. Hey, Midge, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Good to see you both.
Great to see you. So what's happening? I follow you. I send you messages, but you get like millions and thousands and all this other stuff. But you're doing God's work out there for the Trump and the MAGA crew. What are you working on right now?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. It's been crazy recently. I mean, there's been so many protests in January, even before, from the impeachment. It seems like every single weekend out here in San Francisco, there is a leftist protest. And I've been covering a few of them. And interestingly enough, we had the Women's March in mid-January. We had the Walk for Life in late January. And I attended both. And what I found was that there was significantly more people at the Walk for Life than there were at the Women's March this year.
Very interesting.
Wow, I think that's fantastic.
Do we have some video?
I think we do have some exclusive Fog City Midge footage.
Not every show gets the Midge vision.
We're lucky when we get Midgeified over here.
Right.
Do we have the Midge stuff? All right, let's bring that in. Let's take a look at what Midge does.
Is it the stuff you do? I mean, it's incredible. And now I'm seeing it in person, like I'm on video.
Wait, look at this. I'm just so inspired that we've got all of these young pro-life Christian young people who are from California, from the most liberal area in the country. And do you guys support President Trump?
Yes, 100%.
Are you guys going to be 18? Are you guys going to be voting for Trump?
18.
I'm going to get my first vote.
Mine too.
Yep.
The 18 in March.
Yeah. Voting for him.
I'm 18.
All right, make sure you guys go register to vote. Go out there in November.
Already
registered.
I'm turning 19 next month, so he's getting my first vote for sure.
He's taking the arrows for us. The only thing standing between us and them is Trump, and he's the only guy that could do this. Take him on, and I'm glad he is. Thank you for standing up for us, a small guy.
He's definitely, I think, one of the greatest presidents of all time, especially right now in America. We need somebody like him to take over, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He's definitely getting my vote in 2020.
I represent and I love Trump, you know what I'm saying? So I'm black and Vietnamese, and I don't follow the media madness. It's all about Jesus first, support my president. Abortion affects the black community in a crazy mad way, and I'm part of the...
Midge, you're the best at this stuff. You get out there, you got the MAGA hat, you don't care, you're fearless. But it looks like, rarely do you get a warm reception, but it looked like you got a pretty warm reception there at the Walk for Life.
Yeah, I was so surprised, John. It was amazing because I went out there just thinking, okay, I'm just gonna cover the protest. Obviously, I had made a thank you, Donald Trump sign, given that he had just made that amazing speech the week before, a few days before at the March for Life in Washington, D.C. So I made this sign thinking, I might get some hate, I might get some love, let's see what happens. And I was surprised because I received overwhelming support for my sign, the fact that I had the hat on. There were so many other Trump supporters there. And what's amazing is I would say that, honestly, there were at least 10 times as many people at the Walk for Life San Francisco than there were at the San Francisco Women's March 1 week earlier. And it also showed me that there is massive enthusiasm and support for President Trump, even in this radical leftist state that we live in. The support for President Trump is there, and it's actually growing. Now, I don't think our state's going to go blue or go red anytime soon, but I do think that people are waking up and that they support this president and his agenda.
Hey, Midge, one of the, continuing topics I've been talking about today is the Democrats keep having the cigar blow up in their mouth like Wile E. Coyote from the Roadrunner. They try to get the president on Russian collusion. That blew up on them. They tried to get rid of Kavanaugh, his Supreme Court pick, blew up on them. They try to impeach him, blows up on them. Then they can't even count their own votes in a 170,000 vote caucus. Are they not just handing this thing to the president on a silver platter now?
It kind of seems that way. It's so surprising to me that the Democrats just seem to be digging their own grave over and over. And even last night, what we saw with Nancy Pelosi tearing up the articles of impeachment was an embarrassment and a disgrace. And I don't know if you guys saw, but this morning I cut together a video that I happened to catch last night. I'm watching C-SPAN, which typically has, I would say, more Democrat viewers than Republican viewers. And last night on their call-in show, people were calling in, caller after caller, talking about how they are a Democrat and what they've seen from the Democratic Party is a disgrace, and that they are so ashamed of Nancy Pelosi and her behavior at the State of the Union. And I was just so shocked that nearly every single caller was saying the same thing and saying that they are either not going to show up to the polls in November or they're voting for President Trump. That the behavior they've seen is causing them to, as we say in the movement, the walk away from the Democrat Party. And it was just an incredible thing to hear. And so I posted a little clip on Twitter this morning, and now it's gone viral. So people are waking up.
Tremendous. Thank you so much, Midge. I follow you on social media, and every time I see some clip you put up where you're around New York, I text you like, hey, can you come on Liquid Lunch? And then you're always avoiding us, but we need you back in studio, too. You're great on Skype, but we miss you down here, and we got a new studio.
Well, I can't wait to come by and see it, John.
All right.
Next time I'm in New York.
You guys out there, if you care about our country and patriotism and all that great stuff like we do, you got to check out Fog City Midge. She's out on the West Coast where she's in enemy territory, but she's fighting every day to bring the real stuff that's happening on the streets to you. Thank you, Midge. Thank you for being there throughout hour 2, but don't go anywhere. We're going to come back right after this because Midge hits the streets on the West Coast, and we got my brother downtown Derek hits the streets right here on the East Coast. Maybe there'll be a man on the street, maybe not. We'll know more right after this.